All right, all right, all right. All right. See what we can get going on here in the old chat. Let me get right to the thing here. We're going to do some Lorneography here on this Friday night. I'm sorry it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. As you all know, this world is bit of a crazy place. Come on, fucking YouTube. What the fuck? Okay. So. Wait for some folks to join. All right, what's up, Gorilla? What's going on? Who else is in the chat? Who else we got in here? Oh, we got some good stuff tonight. We sure do. It's been a while. Been a couple weeks since I've done this. I did put a link to my PayPal in the description, just in case anybody wants to donate. If not, no worries. I know it's hard times right now. So, well, I'm going to get started here. We got at least one person in the room, Gorilla. We're going to get started here. We're going to watch, we're going to listen to Lorne's phone conversation here that somebody posted. The YouTuber that posted this is Candid Fellow. So he's kind of got the footage put together pretty well here. What's up, Michael Mendoza? What's going on? How you doing? Good to see that some people are here. So, well, let's get right to it and let's listen. Well, some more people are joining. Off the Verge, what's up? Yes, it has been a while. It's been a bit. Been a couple of weeks. Been very busy. Very busy. I got too much shit going on in my life, I work full time. I play music. I try to write music, and then I want to record music, and then I'm too fucking lazy to do that. And then here we are. I'd rather do some, it's Friday night. Why not do some Lorne stuff, right? Might as well. So here we go. We're going to start with this phone conversation. This, I believe, is Lorne speaking to the decoy. It's so weird, man, because, like, when you see the woman who's talking on the phone, who's doing the voice of Kayla, I mean, it's like, oh, my God. You just wouldn't be able to sync the voice up to that body, What's up, Kelp Pill? What's going on, buddy? How you doing? It's really awesome to see you guys here, even if there's only 3 of you or 4 of you, whatever. I don't care. I just like doing these because they're fun, and and I don't think anybody else is live streaming some Lorne content at this exact moment. So I couldn't wait till tomorrow night. I usually do the Saturday evening post, but then clobbering time, he does a lot of shit on Saturday night too. So it's kind of like, well, I figured I would do an early evening Friday night thing tonight. So anyway, let's get going with this phone call so I can shut my ass up. So here we go. Without further ado, let me start it from the top here.
Hi.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Did your phone die on you or something?
I didn't know if you hung up on me or not, so I don't know what happened.
I didn't hang up on you. I wouldn't hang up on you.
Promise?
I promise. You're too much of a sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
Thank you.
My precious little princess.
I like it when you call me that.
I like calling you that. I like calling you my little baby girl, too.
My little baby girl,
You're
too.
so sweet.
Yes,
I like
you
the
are.
toy you sent me.
It's so disgusting, isn't it? When you hear the voice. I mean, the voice of this decoy. She sounds like 8 years old. I mean, it's so. Man, the nerve of Lorne. The desperation, utter desperation, for him. He is, yeah. Michael Mendoza. He's like, it's like he won the lottery or something. Like you can hear how giddy he is in his voice. Like he's so freaking. He's just so confident, and it's almost like maybe he feels confident because, she's a lot younger than him. Whereas, like, if he was with somebody of age, he would not have the confidence. I don't think. Any female of age wouldn't want nothing to do with him anyway. So unless it's codfisher. So here we go.
Huh?
I like the poem you sent me.
Good. I'm glad you did. You know how long it took me to write that
What
one?
did wait? What did she say?
About 50. I'm glad you did. Huh?
I like the poem you sent me.
Good.
Did she say, I like the porn you sent me, or the poem? It's probably the poem, right? Does anybody know? Let me hear that one more time.
Good.
Sent me. Aw, you're so sweet.
Yes,
I like
you
the
are.
poem you sent me.
Huh?
I like the poem you sent me.
Good. I'm glad you did. You know how long it took me to write that one?
Okay, yeah, it's a
How
poem.
long?
About 15 minutes.
That's good or bad?
That's actually good. Usually it doesn't take me that long to write a poem. So how was school today?
It was okay, I guess. It was a Friday.
Thank God,
Friday.
Yeah.
Huh? I was saying thank God too.
And then he's like laughing the whole time, It's like all fun and games. It's so ridiculous. And then look at this lady here, like this woman, I should say. I mean, I don't have any clue how old she is in this picture, but she doesn't. I mean, yeah. Well, I always see jokes like memes online about the CB radio. If anybody remembers back in the day, like when CB radios were like big before the internet and stuff like that, like there was a meme where it was like it showed like this big ugly woman, like with a bottle of Jack and a cigarette hanging out of her mouth, and it said the sexiest voice ever heard, and then it showed her. You know what I mean? Like where basically the voice sounds like a supermodel, and like when you see the person in real life, they look like, they just look awful. So yeah, yeah.
You said you sell tickets, right?
Yep.
You think she's in her 20s,
What
Mike?
do you sell tickets to?
Well, it's actually to a benefit concert. Have you ever heard of the Beatles?
MySpace.
I think so.
Okay, well, it's tickets to a band that looks and sounds and dresses exactly like the Beatles used to dress.
Uh-huh.
It sounds exactly like the Beatles used to.
Yeah, actually, that's funny, Aaron E. Welcome to the stream. When I was a kid, when I was like 12, me and my buddy had bought these walkie-talkies from a garage sale, and we kind of got into it a little bit, into the CB radio when we were younger, back in the 90s. This was back in the 90s, and I mean, it was a big thing back then, man. Like that, because I mean, yeah, there was internet and stuff, like, but the thing about the CB, prior to everyone having a cell phone, it was free. You know, you just had to buy the radio, and once you hooked it up, it's free. You know, so it's free communication. Whereas today, everybody has a cell phone, which pretty much makes the CB radio out of, you know. I'm sorry, I can't even think right now. My brain is kind of fried from today at work, and I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going off on stupid tangents.
Sound?
Uh-huh.
That's what the tickets are for. This band is played for the Queen of England, and they've been all over the world.
Wow, have you ever seen him play?
Nope. I've seen him on TV, but I haven't seen him play, though. I haven't seen him in person.
Are you going to?
No, I'm not gonna.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to?
I guess not.
You sound so sweet.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Huh?
Thank you for letting me call.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for calling. How many minutes did you get on your card?
I got 100, I think.
100?
Uh-huh.
You must really like me to want to talk to me that long.
I think I just picked up a card.
Oh, really? You didn't notice how many minutes were on it?
No, not really.
Oh, my God. You are so pretty.
Thank you.
I love your eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you nervous now?
Okay. Sorry, I had to step away for a second. I paused at a perfect spot, by the way. That good old pleasure pack. But anyway, you sound so sweet. Oh my God. He's such a fucking turd, man. I just can't get over it. Oh, gee. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for thanking me. She does sound 5. I mean, maybe not 5, but I guessed 8 years old. That was my guess. That's what the voice sounds like to me. Rhoda. And Michael, there's a ton of Beatles cover bands. They're all over the place. I've seen them in my hometown. They're everywhere. But nobody can match the Beatles. I don't care. They're the Beatles.
Huh?
Are you nervous about talking to me now?
Not like I was when I first called.
Good. I'm glad you called back, because I would never hang up on you.
Okay. I just had to ask.
Okay, well, don't ever think that, because I would never hang up on you. If we ever hang up, then it's something to do with the phone. It's not me hanging up on you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So did you think about me today?
Yeah, I did.
How much?
Lots.
I fucking love this picture right here of Lorne, like, just totally defeated. Like, he's just shattered, man. Like, he knows that Kayla wasn't real, and I think that, like, I've said from the get-go that I think that was heavily on his mind, the fact that Kayla wasn't real. Like, he was, like, more concerned about that, you know. And I love it when he's like, I'd like an attorney. And the cops are like, okay. we don't really need a confession, Lorne. We already have everything recorded, all the phone calls, all the pictures you sent her of your bot and your wang and the videos and all the sexual rhetoric in the chat. It's just it's too much. It's way too much. Not too much. Not a whole lot.
Lot?
Did you think about me?
Of course I did. Did you get my offlines?
Yeah.
My offlines.
You're so sweet.
I know you are. So what did you think about?
I thought about talking to you. I was kind of nervous.
You was kind of nervous?
Uh-huh.
Guess that nervousness is going away now, huh?
Lorne, she's fucking nervous because you're a 36 or 37-year-old man, and she's 13, and she's never done anything, and all you ever do is talk about how you're going to violate her sexually, right? So, that's something to think about, Lorne, Be quite normal for her to be nervous. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about you all day. Did you get the one where I told you that I stared at your picture for an hour? I didn't even realize that I had stared at.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. He fucking stared at her picture for an hour, right? For an hour. I've never done that, okay? I've never done that. And, I think when I was 18, I was, it was my first, real love I've ever had. And when we broke up, we only dated for a short period of time. It was a heartbreaking thing, but, I've never been obsessed with a woman. To me, that's just, it's creepy and it's weird. And to stare at someone's picture for an hour, what the fuck, Lorne? I understand, you got to look at it this way, people. He was building a gym for a church, so they should have just let him go. I mean, why even arrest the guy? He's building a fucking goddamn gym for the goddamn church. Just let him go, right? He didn't do anything wrong, right? According to Lorne, it was a big conspiracy. They hacked his computer and bot, right? That's about all he had to say.
Is that long?
Wow.
But you're so pretty.
That's so special.
You are special. You're very special. I can't believe the boys are such idiots at your school.
Yeah, they
Oh my
are.
God.
They're really stupid.
A lot of boys are like that, though, huh?
I guess so. You're not, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, 'cause you're not a boy. You're a fucking 36-year-old man, you turd fuck.
Okay, sing to me.
Sing to you?
Yeah. I want to hear you sing.
Yeah.
I can't sing.
No? Oh, yeah, that's right. You're going to play an instrument.
Yeah. why
You
don't
hear me
sing
chewing.
for me?
You want me
You're the
to
one
sing for
that
you?
can sing. Yeah. You're the one that can sing.
Okay, what country songs do you know?
Oh,
Exactly, Shen's koala. I mean, just the whole Amanda James story. I'm surprised she's not in here right now. I mean, I've been sending her Dale Earnhardt Jr. shit for the last year, and we still haven't met up. I'm kind of getting pretty mad at her. I've been sending her threatening emails and, all this stuff. I've wasted, 5 years of my life on the internet. I hope you guys know that I'm just bullshitting. But yeah, Lorne, I really, did anybody ever find out if that was a true story, the whole Amanda James thing? It had to be, right? Because I don't think he's slick enough to make that up. And then for him to say that he never talked to a minor, to Chris Hansen, was a complete lie. Because wasn't he chatting up with another decoy as well? I think that's, what was going down.
gosh.
I had to ask you that, huh?
I know, I think it's called, it's by that really tall blonde guy, I think,
He is one of those
Like
fucking
exactly.
weirdos.
no,
He's a really tall one.
the other guy.
The other guy.
Alan
Oh, it was,
Jackson.
yeah, two other
Jackson?
decoys. My bad.
It's the Rose song.
The what song?
The Rose song. we can do another one.
I'm trying to think what Rose song.
Well, that's the thing, guys. This dude, Lorne proposes over the phone. He has a habit of proposing to women who he's never met in real life. So that alone is just proof of the character of how he is. It's hard to because like when people do stuff like this, I try to figure out why. I want to know why. Like what drives his brain. Because he does seem kind of stupid, but at the same time, like he's definitely not mentally handicapped. Okay, like for example, with To Catch a Predator, the show, there were several people who showed up, like Donald Morrison. I'm not justifying any of this, but here's what I'm trying to say. Like Donald Morrison, right? Like, he is the exact guy who you'd expect to show up, right? He didn't seem like he was all there in the head. Now, I'm not justifying it. He's still breaking the law, and he knew it was wrong. But he's not, socially, he's not there. Whereas Lorne kind of, like, maybe he needs liquid courage, like when he goes to the bar, or when he used to go to the karaoke bar. Maybe after a few drinks, he would talk to people. But I can't put my finger on it. Like, is he just, like, so dumb? Because I also think that had an 18-year-old girl would have been into Lorne, he would have went for it too. You know what I'm saying? I just think Kayla was the one girl out there, and he just thought, fuck, she's 13. Well, she's sent me pics and whatever. She likes me. I'm gonna go with it. But he knew it, and Lorne knew it was wrong. He knew it was illegal. He's not like I just don't know what was going through his mind. Like he comes up with all these stupid excuses like, I just couldn't say no. And it's like, fuck you, Lorne. That's a total lie. You're no. Just it would be so much better if he would just own up to it and say, I did this, I did that, and I was wrong, and blah, 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 blah. But no, we ain't going to get that from Lorne. Anyway, back to the video. Yeah, and he never got the fucking mac and cheese either.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about what? Don't be sorry. I'm trying to think, too, and I can't think either.
Why don't you pick one?
Okay. Let me see. How about...
No, I don't either, Codfather.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I still got that chest cold hanging on to me a little bit.
Did you taste anything?
Yeah, coffee. It doesn't work very well, does it?
Yeah, I guess that's about like me and my Coke.
Let me see. What can I sing to you?
Oh boy, this is nuts.
Okay, I got one.
Here we go. Here we go. Get ready.
Okay. Look at the two of you dancing that way, lost in the moment, in each other's face. So much in love, you're alone in this place. Like there's nobody else in the world. I was enough for her not long ago. I was her number one. She told me so. And she still means the world to me, just so you know. So be careful when you hold my hand. Time changes everything. Life must go on. And I'm not gonna stand in your way.
Bum, bum, bum.
I loved her first. I held her first. And a place in my heart will always be hers.
I can't even match.
From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of the Father runs deep, and I prayed that she'd find you someday. But it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first.
Wow.
Wow.
You sound really good.
You want to come to my concert?
No.
Of course I do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to marry you, so you'll be there anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. You'll never be playing any concerts, Lorne, because you're now a registered sex offender. Good luck joining any band, for that matter. No record label's gonna want to look at your dipshit ass.
Aw, you're so sweet.
Yes, you are.
Listen, I better get off. I don't know when my parents are gonna come home, but maybe we can talk again some other time.
Okay, well, you going to stay right on the internet?
Yeah, I'll talk to you online.
Okay.
Will you pet Bud for me?
Will I pet him for you?
Yes.
Do you want to see him?
Sure.
Are you in front of the computer right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see him?
Right.
He looks.
Because Lorne wants to be on the phone for 15 hours. And these poor people who worked for To Catch a Predator, especially the people who had to chat with this fucking guy. I mean, 407 I mean, oh my lord, I would have given up. I mean, imagine just the constant bombardment of messages that is transmitted from Lorne to the decoy. It's just, oh man, I would love to shake that person's hand, whoever it was, who was doing the typing back and forth. Because that is some hardcore work right there. I mean, I would have thought, like, well, this guy's not going to show up or some shit, but they chatted for over a month. One of the longest chats we've ever seen, right? That's what Chris said.
It's cuter every time I get to see him.
He's standing there posing.
Good doggy. I'll talk to you online, okay?
Okay, bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
I'm right here waiting for you.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, that's disgusting. So disgusting. So wrong on every level. So, I want to watch some other Lorne stuff. I know there's a bunch of these like prank. I don't want to really watch that. What should I do? Should I go to Lorne's channel and watch some of his content? Or, what should I do? You guys let me know. It's we the people here. Yeah, Shin, I think that is the best he ever sounded. You think when Kayla talks... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, the Church of Quad story. That's kind of a hard question. Lorne, isn't this the one where this video here, Lorne discusses Kayla in the chat log? I kind of want to do this because it's him talking, I believe, to Clobber. Go to the Porn Armstrong channel. Yeah, I know that, Kelp Pill. Is that what you guys want? I mean, we can do that. Or there's the COD Squad 59-minute video where he discusses Kayla in the chat log. We can do that. No, I agree with you, Kelp Pill. I really do not want to go to his channel because it's monetized and I don't want him getting any money. And I know he probably hasn't collected it or probably isn't able to collect it, but still. It's just kind of weird. Let's just take a little listen to this for a little bit here. Let's check this one out.
Hi, sir, and thank you for joining me tonight. I'm joined as well by Lorne Armstrong. Good evening, Lorne.
Good evening.
Tonight, Lorne wants to open up about some things that happened in the past. Lorne granted an interview recently where he discussed some personal details about his life. However, he was not willing to talk about some details that are most pertinent, probably the ones that he's most well known for, due to the fact that
Right.
there
Like
were some
being a
extenuating
pedophile?
circumstances. So, Lorne, can you tell us why you're willing to talk about some more personal details tonight?
Because my appeal got denied in the court.
And the
And-
court.
I figured if that got denied in the court, then I might as well let the public hear about it and let the public make their own decisions.
So, in other words, are you saying that you're done
What up,
with
T.
these
Davis?
lawsuits?
Yes.
All right. So, no more lawsuits.
Unless somebody decides to mess with me.
Okay. But the lawsuits against NBC, everything else, those are done.
Those are done.
Okay. I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed to hear that because they enjoyed reading your lawsuits, because that was an incredibly uphill battle, it sounded like, for you, taking on a giant like NBC. So we're glad to hear
Well,
that.
if I would have had a lawyer, then NBC would not have won. So I just want to let people know that.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
despite all
there's a
that,
difference between having a lawyer and not having a lawyer.
despite all that, the lawsuits, as they're sometimes referred to, are over, and you're starting out fresh as a non-litigious Lorne Armstrong.
Right.
All right. So, the purpose of the conversation tonight that I wanted to get to the bottom of is I wanted to talk to you about Ben.
He was
Sort of the
totally used by
contents of your
Dateline.
Conversation that
He
you
was
had
set up.
in Nashville. You know why you're well known, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how would you sum it up? Why are you so well known?
Because it's a sketch predator show.
All right. So tonight, as long as you're comfortable with it, I want to talk to you about how you ended up on that show. You're okay with that?
I'm okay with it as far as my answers can go.
Okay.
That's the only way I can put it.
And I want to let you know, your honesty is appreciated. I know that there's a lot of people out there who think that you want to blame everybody but yourself. If I feel like the conversation's headed in that direction, I'm going to make sure that the focus stays on you. I don't want to, I don't want it to be implied that I'm taking it easy on you or that, you're trying to place blame elsewhere. I want this to come honestly from you. So you're willing to do that? You're willing to speak honestly and openly?
I'm very willing to do that. I just want you to be hard on me. I don't want you to think that you have to be easy.
All right.
I want these people to know the exact truth.
Okay.
I will not answer anything with a lie. Period.
I'll
That's
be
what I
hard
would have
on
said.
you.
I would have been okay.
So I want to talk to you. I want to talk about the time leading up to your arrival in Nashville.
What is this?
And I
Lorne
feel like
Armstrong
you can't
on
do that without talking about
Vimeo?
Betty OK, Durango Mango.
Okay.
And a lot of people out there have accused you of running away with money, you took advantage of this elderly couple, their life savings, and you took off with it. So, in your own words, from your own
He's probably had
perspective,
about 12 Bud
sort of wanna
Lights.
hear
Kelp
what
pill.
your
Bat. I'm not sure.
what your involvement in that whole situation was.
Okay. To explain it the best that I can is I got used very badly by people I trusted.
Here we go.
I take full responsibility for Betty's money because it was my responsibility when I took the money from her.
Right.
When she handed me the money, it was my
Money, eh?
responsibility to treat that money right and make sure it went to where it went to.
Which was upgrading their house, fixing their house, expanding their house.
Right. Right.
Right. Right.
In this class that
Even
I'm
Marvin.
taking,
This is Marvin's reaction.
it's taken
to
a
this
while
call.
To figure out what my problem was at the time. And my problem we finally figured out that my problem at the time was that I couldn't say the word no.
Okay.
Right.
Anybody that needed help,
Just
I
couldn't do
couldn't say
it.
the word no.
Right.
And unfortunately,
Even though I begged her.
it was with Betty's money that's where that help came from.
So how'd you feel about that? I mean,
And
so I don't mean to cut you off, but you leave Maine with this, the deposit retainer, whatever you want to call it, from Betty, but you leave to start a new life in Nashville with that money. I mean, what's going through your head at that point?
I felt like shit. Literally. I literally felt like shit because I knew I had her money. But the only thing that I could think was in order to get people stop using me, I had to leave. And so I sold my house for $8,000 after I had over $60,000 into it, and
Me too, Aaron.
got rid of a lot of things.
He's so full of dog shit.
Basically for free, and took my dog and loaded as much stuff in my truck as I could, and I went down to Nashville.
Right.
And I figured once I got a job down there, then I could start sending money back to Betty a little at a time.
Okay.
Sure.
That never happened though.
Yeah.
It still hasn't.
That never, obviously that never happened.
Yeah.
Well, he sent her $20. That
It's
should
just-
cover
this
it.
isn't- I don't want to make this about Betty. I just wanted to make sure that we sort of discussed that and, had at least some conversation around there. I'm sure we could probably spend a whole, day talking about that and get Betty involved and do all that. But, that's not the purpose of this tonight.
I think a cup of coffee and a $20 check should cover it.
But
That's just me,
I
though.
appreciate you answering questions about that. You feel bad about it. You feel like someday there's some chance, there's some possibility that you will make this up to her.
I will definitely make it up to her.
Okay.
And I don't like the way that things are right now. I don't like still owing her money when I should have had her paid off a long time ago. Had it not been for this thing, or for this thing that I got caught up in. And Betty is she is a very awesome woman. She was so nice to me, and there's no way I can express how bad I feel about her.
Okay. All right. I don't want to, necessarily drag up bad feelings about that, but I feel like it needed to be addressed. Tell me about your time in Nashville, kind of leading up to everything. So before you even talked to
He did a
Kayla,
video about the
what was
$20
your time like
check.
in Nashville? You show up there, and what's going on those first few weeks that you're there?
When I first got down there, I had called down to Nashville already to find an apartment, and I found one, and when I got down there, they told me that they didn't accept dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that I talked to before I went down there said they do accept cats. And so I couldn't stay there because I had Bud.
Right.
And
I had
I
Bud.
told them I wasn't going to give my dog away because I was really close to my dog. Bud wasn't still means everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
So you found Hickory Woods then eventually.
Hickory Woods.
What's that?
You found Hickory Woods,
Yeah.
the place you were living.
Yeah.
I went looking around that day. Well, actually, I stayed in the hotel room for 2 nights before I wound up finding Hickory Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an apartment there. And once I got an apartment there, I found a job at a place that
Not the car dealership.
they make cold calls
This is the
for concerts.
yeah.
They make cold calls for concerts, and they a percent. Well, it's actually supposed to be for the fire department. Well, they give a certain percentage to the fire department, and then there's a certain percentage that has to go to everywhere else that it has to go to.
Right, like you.
Mm-hmm.
Right, for the people that do the cold calls and for the concerts and stuff like that. And then after that job there, well, I didn't like that job. And
Did you
so
sell
I
any
quit
job?
That job.
Did you sell any
Job.
tickets?
I sold very few tickets
Okay.
because you have to actually believe in the place that you're working for, and before you can sell anything. The guy that was my boss dressed like a slob and looked like a slob, and
Wasn't that the guy that told him he couldn't be talking to other people or something, and he told Kayla that he told him to go fuck himself? Is that the same guy? Which I doubt Lorne told the guy that. I bet you Lorne just probably went home that day with his tail between his legs and just probably didn't show back up.
just seeing that, I just
Or he
couldn't
got
believe
fired.
in it.
Right.
So I just quit that job and I went and looked for another job.
He probably got fired at that job. He was probably talking to some. They could have been doing work at like a high school or something, and he was probably talking to one of the young girls, and they're probably like, "Lauren, what are you doing? We're here to do construction, not talk to underage girls." Okay.
And that's when I got the job with the construction company, working at the church, building
See?
the church.
I'm telling you, he shouldn't even have gotten arrested, right? He did nothing wrong. Lorne did nothing wrong. And you know why? Because he was building a fucking gym for a church. That just that just totally, it justifies everything that he's done. It makes it all okay, right?
And then that's when this thing happened.
Right.
Right.
So leading up, so you're getting a little ahead because we're talking about, we're focusing a little on the conversations that you had in the meantime. So I feel like, you moved to the city. So, you lived in Alaska, you lived in Washington, you lived in Canyon, Maine. What was it like sort of being in Nashville for the first time?
I absolutely loved Nashville.
Mary, that's probably absolutely what he was doing. I'm telling you. He was probably talking to some female who was like, who is this creep, this, middle-aged creep that's talking to me, this bald-headed scumbag. And he probably got trespassed from the building, And the sad part is he probably wasn't, it's not like he was doing a First Amendment audit, right? With a camera. He was just there he was like, it had to be a girl. That's who he was talking to. Some young girl that was underage. It's either that or he's totally lying about that story. It's one or the other. You know, that's Lorne for you.
No, it was just perfect city.
And emotionally, how was it for you? You know, you're showing up there, you're alone. How was that?
Oh, he was alone.
Emotionally was a different thing because it didn't. I didn't feel like I had my family's full support. I didn't feel like I had my
Right. You know, my family, I don't get support either because they didn't make me mac and cheese. You know, I put in a new shitter and all I wanted was a fucking mac. He sounds like Mike Mira from Suicidal Tendencies, the band, right? You remember the music video back in the 90s where I just wanted a Pepsi, just one Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Like, I didn't get mac and cheese, and I didn't get meatballs, so that's why I'm a pedophile. That totally clears it up, Lorne. I mean, a judge would throw your case directly out of court for that one. Oh my God, he didn't get his mac and cheese or his meatballs. Case dismissed. You're free to go.
friends, full support. I felt like to them it was a joke, and when it was something that I had always taken very seriously.
Right. And this is going there. You want to sing. You want to do that.
Right. Right.
All right. So that kind of leads me into my next question, which is, you're on
Mike,
the internet. First night.
Sorry, I'm the nutty one, not Lorne. Lorne didn't do anything wrong. Okay. It was a CIA psyop, right? It was a total conspiracy against them, right? Total Alex Jones style conspiracy. What the no. Sorry for yelling. That's not true. And one of the, there's a term that I believe it was Abraham Lincoln once said. And this is why I don't get in on a lot of conspiracy theories. Is only 3 people can keep a secret, right? Only 3. And that's if 2 of them are dead. So that's how, like these flat earth people, they're so dumb. I'm surprised Lorne's not a flat earther. Like, he seems like somebody who would buy into that stuff. Because he certainly is a follower. And I don't know. Lorne is a targeted individual. He was being he's being gang stalked. Yeah, okay. I can't touch my sister's hair anymore. You'd be mad too. MK Ultra. Yeah, what was he, like, part of the Church of Scientology or some shit? Tom Cruise style? I don't know. If Lorne was smart, he could at least come up with that kind of lie, right? Or something like that. But no. It's because NBC got paid to do their jobs, and they somehow hacked his computer, and they made up the entire chat log, and somehow randomly he just showed up at the house. To me, that story makes the best sense.
The chat begins. What were you doing on the internet that night?
I was in an adult chat room.
An adult chat room.
And yeah. And I just doing what any other person was doing in there, just chatting with people.
Okay.
Multiple
an adult
people.
Chat room.
And
underagers.
What's sort of is it highly sexualized? Is it, what's kind of the...
That was great.
Is it highly sexualized? Is
it highly sexualized? He sounded like it was in a courtroom or something. It's almost like Lorne is on the stand right now.
Is it? I mean, what's kind of the?
No. It's just a lot of different talk about different subjects, political, not political, sports, just a variety of different subjects. I can't remember exactly what I was involved in talking with it, or if I just watched in, or I can't remember exactly what was happening at the time. But
Okay, I know it was a long time ago.
The normal
so-
room that I usually went in.
Okay. So you're in the adult chat room. Were you talking to anyone
Baloney.
in particular?
Baloney.
No,
Okay.
no, I think I had just gotten in there.
That night.
That night before when I met her.
What's up, Amanda James? I was
Quote
just
unquote Kayla.
hold on here. We
Right.
got to do a pause here. I was just talking about you before you got in here. And I was telling everybody about all the Dale Earnhardt stuff that I've sent you in the past. And, we still haven't met. You're supposed to be my wife. And we still haven't met. So, so I'm calling you out right now, Amanda James. When I send you all this stuff for free, there's other intentions going on in my mind. Don't you think? I'm just kidding, by the way. Welcome to the chat, and we'll keep on rolling.
And so were you, and I have to ask this, were you in there looking, you're in an adult chat room. Okay, we established that. And this is going to sound like a funny question given that, but were you looking for underage chat partners specifically?
Like you said, it kind of answers its own question.
I know, but I had to ask because that's, and we.
Yeah, that is kind of a dumb question because he's not going to admit to that, but that's what he did. So exactly, Rhoda. We know that he said hello to every he just went for anybody. I'm sure he was messaging every single female in the room and was getting shut down, and then he took the bait. And, Amanda James, I'm telling you, I spent 5 years of my life on the internet being taken advantage of by women, and now you're taking advantage of me. So it's all your fault. And then the other thing, I was late to work this morning because you didn't call me to wake me up. What's going on here? What's the matter with you?
We've heard it. We've heard it on the show before. They were in the gay chat room, or they were in the adult chat room, or blah blah blah. So, all right, I decided to ask it. So you weren't in there trolling for underage girls in an adult chat room.
No. I was trolling.
Better
for
watch it,
underage
Chen.
girls.
She's my girl. She's not allowed to speak to any other man on the internet or in person. Okay? Amanda James is only allowed to speak to me. Nobody else. Right? That's Lorne's logic. He don't like women talking to anybody. Any woman he's into, if there's a 14-year-old boy that's going to talk to the girl he's into, he's going to get super jealous, demanding. He's going to want full control of what the woman does at all times because he and then he talks about, seems like somebody I could trust. It's like, well, Lorne, you don't trust anybody, but yet you continue to get codfished. You don't trust them, so why are you even dicking around? You can't be in a relationship with somebody and not allow that person to talk to other men, like in social situations. It doesn't mean that, your girlfriend is going to sleep with some other man just because they had a conversation. I just don't it just really makes me angry. Nobody, and I feel terrible for any male or female that is in a relationship like that where one person has, because I was actually in a relationship like that where the woman I was with wanted complete control over everything I did. She wanted access to my phone. She didn't trust me ever. And I've never cheated on anybody. I've never cheated on any woman I've dated. So, needless to say, she was kind of the female version of the way Lorne treats women.
Girl, I would have been in an adult chat room.
All right. So what? And that's kind of implied in the chat log too, because you say, oh, people talk about this and here and that.
And I didn't give you permission to do that, Amanda.
That you were in an adult chat room, so that's not, that's
gotta check with me first.
That's honest. You weren't looking for underage kids. Obviously, you're in an adult chat room. There's another decoy too that got brought up. Disney Girl. Do you have any recollection of that? Somebody named Disney.
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue who Disney Girl is.
All right. I mean, is that new to you? Am I bringing up something new, or is that
Kelpill? You know what? You've gained my trust. You can talk to Amanda James. Okay. I'll give away one hostage. Nah, man. Anybody can talk with absolutely anybody at any time in my chat. It's called freedom of speech, people. I just love to entertain Lorne's logic.
Very new to me because I never even heard of her.
So perverted justice implies in the blurb where they talk about, and there's no, as far as I know, there's no chat log to confirm, but they say that you chatted with another perverted justice decoy whose screen name had something to do with Disney Girl. So
right, because I've never heard of
Disney Girl.
Disney Girl.
All right, so I don't. That's I'm bringing it up because it's
just no fucking guys.
Perverted justice setup.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it at that.
That's why you're bringing it up, because of perverted justice setup.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, you're asking me?
I'm asking you, brother.
So part of the little blurb that they give about Lorne Armstrong on the perverted justice site says that you chatted with another underage decoy. Obviously not to the extent.
Ooh. Lorne's getting a little squirmy now. He did talk to another underage decoy. Let's see what he has to say about that. How's he gonna get out of this one? He's probably gonna say that. This is my guess. He's probably gonna say that NBC made it up. Okay, that's my guess. Does anybody else want to take a guess at what Lorne is gonna respond? I'm sure some of you probably have seen this video. I think I've heard parts of it, but I've never really listened to this all the way through. So. Here we go.
Then obviously didn't show up to meet them or do anything else. But it is implied that you talked to another underage decoy at some point, and there's no extrapolation. There's no more information available beyond the fact that it occurred, as far as I know. Maybe someone will correct us, but
let me state right now.
That's right, Amanda. You better keep that hair blonde.
About perverted justice.
Can't dye it without checking with me first.
$100,000 for every show. They were paid to lure people in. Now they're on the hot seat.
Right? Church of Quad story?
And they're going to make up anything that they possibly can. They made up this Disney Girl, because I never spoke to any Disney Girl.
Damn, Shin's Koala, there was 3 other decoys.
When you mentioned to me, that's the first I've heard of any Disney Girl.
Okay.
Xavier Von Erck.
Yeah.
Has some serious issues.
Kelpill, where'd you get this info from? Is this fake news?
I'll bring a lot more to light later on about perverted justice and Xavier Von Erck. AKA Philip Eade.
You're always promising later on. That's fine. And we know that
later on, because I can deliver.
No, I know.
Yeah. Oh my God. I make promises because later on I can deliver. Did you just hear that come out of his mouth? Are you kidding me? just about the only thing he was gonna be able to deliver was his love to Kayla. That's about the only thing he's ever been able to attempt to deliver on. Other than that, he's a total fraud, Lorne. I mean, he stole all that money from Betty. I wouldn't trust this man with his word if my life depended on it. I mean, no, absolutely not. I wouldn't want this guy anywhere near me. I mean, if he was walking down the street, I'd probably shoot him with my BB gun right in his quack.
And to your credit, and this is not, coming to the defense of pedophiles or doing anything else, but,
But wait a minute. If you want it now, I can dig it right out.
No, this is not about that. This is not about exposing perverted justice. This is about you. And I don't want it to take that course. But to your credit, what I'll say is Bowling Green was the final. It was the last, To Catch a Predator.
It was the last stop before the Twilight Zone
in the series. And they lured you and I think 6 other people to the Sting house. And maybe they were getting a little desperate at that point. Maybe at that point people had caught on. They were being more careful. And they had to resort to more desperate tactics. I don't know. Or sensationalize it a little bit more. It's been implied, and I'll give a little credit to that. So, maybe they did, add in, some details to spice things up. But some.
I had a question mark on that one. Some.
All right. Well, we'll blow the roof off of perverted justice sometime down the road. It sounds like. So what drew you you initiate this conversation with Kayla? What kind of drew you into that? To begin with, what was your kind of intention there?
My initial intention was just to be nice to her,
right?
Because nobody else in the chat room would talk to her, and I felt bad for her, and I just wanted to give her someone to talk to.
Right. Okay.
And that's all there was to that.
So, the
chat
log turns sexual fairly quickly. I mean,
I had to go take a picture of my
sex
bot.
comes up, semi-naturally just because she's in an adult chat room. Have you heard this? Have you heard that? But it turns sexual pretty quickly.
Sure did.
What's your explanation for that? You brought sex into the equation. What was the purpose there?
Sure did.
Okay. As far as me bringing sexual stuff into the equation fairly quickly, I really didn't bring it into it very quickly.
Bullshit.
Because I never even wanted to mention it.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
And that was never my goal. My goal was honestly just to be a friend to her. But at the time, I couldn't think straight about anything that I was doing. And when she started talking to me and letting me spill out my stuff,
Lorne was helping, was a tutor.
Gave me someone to talk to, and
a sex tutor that doesn't know anything about sex.
I don't really know how to explain that.
Okay.
It gave me somebody to talk to, and I lost track of who I was talking to.
Were you having trouble talking to people that were your own age?
Yeah.
I was having trouble talking to anybody, period.
Okay.
Right?
Literally.
Because
not Kayla, you weren't.
And this is maybe not the initial thing, but I mean, it's something like 40 minutes in, you ended up exposing yourself on webcam. It's a 13-year-old.
40.
What's going through your head when you're doing that? What's kind of
40 minutes into the chat, he's already exposing himself. to a 13-year-old. And the funny thing is I don't think the only thing Kayla sent back was those pictures. He never got any video because she didn't have a webcam because her parents wouldn't allow it. It's so hilarious. Oh my God. He never lost track of her age. No. Isn't it normal to send D-pics to friends? Lorne logic. Exactly. And I've said this before. Not only did he send dick pics, but he sent them like with his entire body, face included. So like I could see like if you sent one with it was where it was just your wang, because like if that circulated through the internet, it'd be hard to prove who that wang belonged to, right? So, but he would just show his entire body, his entire face. You know, he didn't give no fuck.
What are you thinking about?
I can look at the shot log again because I don't think it was 40 minutes in because it seems like it was over a couple of days.
I think it was the first night. And I think it was within that first 40 minutes. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the information that's out there. Maybe it's 2 days later. Maybe it's not. But it happened at some point. So, I guess kind of.
Well,
Right.
Well,
Remember, Amanda,
I don't
I
want
want you to count those hairs down there.
It's
Then
almost
be
10
honest.
years ago.
And you too,
Then be
It's
Mary.
almost 10 years ago that it happened.
Yeah.
But
I'm calling for
want you to lie. The last thing I
polygamy
want
on
you
my
to do is
channel
lie.
here. Right? I can have what? How
but,
many wives
you
do
know,
I
if you have
get?
trouble recalling things.
Do I get 2? Do I get 3?
That's okay. And I
I
you're
mean,
right. It
I've
is-
already
it is over 10 years ago,
proposed
and
to
that's
Amanda
happened in
James,
between
but, you
now and
know,
then.
We can do something on
Remembering
the
what
side,
happened in the
Mary.
exact minute or how many minutes it took for something to happen. I get that.
But
well, that's
no
the
one else
thing,
can.
is,
And
you
Rhoda,
know,
too. Rhoda,
I'm
right?
recalling that stuff because it's been 10 years ago, and I don't want.
You know, you pretty much
I don't
all the
wanna lie
women
to
that
people.
come in here, they're in love with me, and that's the only reason. You know, I haven't met her in person or any of you. I haven't talked to you on the phone, but still, you know, I'm already planning the weddings, so just think about that.
I know.
But it doesn't seem. From what I can remember, it seems like it was over a couple of days. It didn't seem like it was that same day.
Okay. We can leave
Okay.
it at that.
Right.
I mean, that's the way it's presented.
No, we'll come back to it because I know people want to know the stuff, and I don't want to be dishonest to anybody.
Yeah, no, I know you don't.
So
I can tell you
it's just
don't.
Right. Rhoda. Never send pics that include your face or any other distinguishing features. Right. Right, exactly. I mean, I'm not a fan of sending D pics. And that's what's so weird, because it seems like the younger generation are most of the people that are doing all these, you know, inappropriate sexting and all that stuff. Like, I was born in 1985, so I'm significantly younger than Lorne. But when I was in high school, the only people that had cell phones when I was in high school were drug dealers. Other than that, I mean, I didn't have a cell phone until I was 21 years old. Before that, I had a pager. Of course, I had a computer back in the day with America Online and all that, but I just, you know, I never got into doing that stuff. Chatting and sending pictures, you know, nude photograph. It's never really crossed my mind. Because I want to do something with a real life woman. I want to have conversation with a real life woman. I don't want to text and chat and send pics. You know, you know, when I was growing up in high school, you know, we had parties and we hung out, you know, we had friends. We didn't sit at home and chat on the fucking computer. And Lorne is significantly older than me, so I know when he was in high school, they had none of this shit. So where in his brain, like, did he pick up all this nonsense? Like, I didn't even know that Yahoo had chatting until after this whole Sting shit went down and all that. But
I need a chance to look at the thing to remember that it was. I need a chance to look at the transcript
oh,
to
that's
remember
so
that.
sweet,
The
Amanda.
time,
that's awesome.
and
You're the same age as I am.
what I was saying at the time, so I can try to remember, you know, what was going on exactly at the time. That
And I must say, I miss the '90s.
I don't know.
Great
the timing
times.
has everything to do with it. It doesn't seem like it was that first day that I did that.
Okay. I'll leave it there. Richard, another thing, and you know, these are kind of consecutive questions that have to do with the same thing, but
Nice.
you know, in your conversations with her, and because you know we as Lornographers and we as people who have studied the chat log and who have gone through it, you know,
Yeah, I had a couple of friends that had phones in high school. They had those like Nokia ones or whatever, but not really. The people, most of my friends didn't have cell phones, man. I mean, we just didn't. And even if they did, there was no texting back then. That's for damn sure. Or maybe there was, but I don't remember learning about text messaging until like what, 2005 or 6. I don't know. Yeah, it was like 2000 when I got my first cell phone was when I got into texting. And the first phone I ever had was like it was a Nextel through Boost Mobile. That was the first phone I ever had. I didn't get a smartphone until years later. So, but yeah.
responded with yeah, okay, cool to a lot of your sexual advances. So you know, you're talking about, you know, touching and penises and doing
Damn,
stuff
you
like
went
that.
to law school, Shin Squall?
And
That's
yeah, okay,
badass,
cool.
man.
She wasn't necessarily engaged, is what people, you know.
You're talking
have
to a high school
done
graduate
analysis
here,
on and
but
other things. Like,
I was a
did
musician,
you pick
man.
up on that
That's
at
why
the
I didn't
time?
go. I should have went to college, but
No,
No.
I was too busy touring the country.
I didn't, because all I cared about was making her happy.
Okay.
You know what I thought she wanted.
So there's
That's-
okay, cools. And you know, you mentioned this specifically in your lawsuit, is that you explain how she used female powers. And a lot of people have talked about her using her female
God,
powers.
here
as
we
sort
go.
of,
Female
you know, a negative
powers.
light against you, like that's a moment of ridicule. Would be like, how does somebody use their female powers, or what was this girl Kayla using female powers? Like,
Exactly.
how can you explain that?
T.
'Cause that's more
Davis.
recent.
I
at
keep
least. You
want.
must have
Is your
a
name
firmer
Tony?
grasp
I
on
keep
that.
wanting
Like,
to call you that
what were
because I
the
got a
female
buddy named
powers that
Tony
she was
Davis.
using on you?
Kind of funny. Kind of wild dude. I did on my other YouTube channel. I actually did a
I know it
podcast
is,
with
but
him.
Lorne, you just got to be honest.
Just because, well, it's hard just because I don't mean to. Well, I don't even know how to put that.
You put it in your
Yeah,
lawsuit.
the
You could
razor.
have been
I
asked to
remember
explain it in court one day.
Yeah, Amanda James. It was the Nokia. And then,
Well,
but
back
Nextel
then I could have
was,
explained it.
let me pause this. Nextel was super popular for a minute because it had the walkie-talkie thing, and then all of a sudden, like, people got tired of that, and they all went to the Razor. I remember that, but I never had one, the Razor phone, but they were cool. So yeah, I also had a BlackBerry too when those first came out. I was totally anti-touchscreen, you know, because I wasn't good at it. I'd rather have buttons, but now it's like I'm so used to the touchscreen. It's like, man, why was I such a hard ass on wanting to learn this?
No, we're not talking that long ago now.
It's been a while.
We're not talking that long ago.
10 years, it's quite a while.
All right, I'm going to edit this part out. I'm going to edit this part out, and I'm going to give you a hint. But this is the part where you're lonely and she would talk to you and other people wouldn't, and you felt like that was an incentive for you to keep talking.
Okay, because you lost.
Gee, it seems like people are leaving the chat here like left and right.
You lost me on using female powers. I was like, what the hell did I do to you?
You
They
use
could
that. You
female
use that.
powers.
You use that in your lawsuit.
Yeah, but I can't remember what stuff that I put in my lawsuit because I've had so many things since then.
Yeah.
Damn, Kelpill, you bought a razor in
As
India?
far as female powers go, she gave me somebody to talk to. Because people
You
have
bought it
not.
when you bought it when you were in India or like for India? Oh shit. Did he really? He started. That's all right. I'm going to keep going though. I'm going to at least finish this thing here. It seems like what is he live streaming every night now? Seems like every time I go to live stream, so does he, but that's fine. I like his streams. They're good. But, we'll keep going.
Had not talked to me at the time.
People of age, you're saying?
Yeah. My family, my friends. There's so many people that I needed to talk to me about things that was going on, and I had questions that I wanted answers of why.
No
of
shit,
why did they
dude.
keep-
You worked for AOL? That's awesome, dude. What did you do for AOL, Kelpill? And also, my next question would be, whatever happened, does AOL still exist? Is that still a thing or no? I don't think it is. It's definitely not like, do you have to pay every month? Remember, you had to pay every month for it? It was like $29.99 or some shit back in the day.
coming.
Right.
Which I'm not going to go into detail on that, but I needed people to show me that they cared about me and not my wallet.
Okay. And you felt like you were getting that from her. And it seemed like you were honest with her, and, I'll give you that. You were honest with her about your situation. You talked about sleeping on the floor and, not having money to do this and that, maybe not even having enough gas to get there. And, I think everyone kind of appreciates that honesty.
I'm going to let you and everybody know right now, I've never spent a dishonest day in my life. I can't lie. I don't lie. Even
Yeah,
if I
Lorne
tried
doesn't
to
lie ever,
People would be
right?
able to see through it.
Well, people have said that of you before, that if you did an interview like this, all you were going to do is lie your way through it. I don't.
Right,
I'm
well,
not getting that impression right now, but
This is something you can tell them people.
No shit.
they're going to hear you saying it because this is being recorded. So,
All right.
Wow, man. That sounds like a pretty high-tech job. Especially from being from your an older generation. That's pretty cool, man. And AOL or Verizon bought AOL, huh? Wow. I wonder what they bought it for. That's Googleable, I'm sure. I shouldn't ask stupid questions like that.
Well, if I was to lie, then when I had to start taking this class, I had to take a polygraph.
mm-hmm.
In that polygraph, they asked me if I have ever solicited sex from a minor. My answer was no. I passed the polygraph. I just recently
Did you just hear
asked-
that? This gets so ridiculous. Have I ever wanted to have sex with a minor? And I passed the polygraph. Well, Lorne, polygraph. Oh my God. Okay. He passed the polygraph, guys. So once again, he needs to be let off. Charges need to be swiped from his record, taken off the sex offender list, right? Lorne, polygraphs they're not admissible in court, you fucking dick shit on rye fucking bread.
The counselor of this class, how do I obtain a copy of that polygraph
Kelp
so that I can show
Hill
it to everyone?
obviously
She
is
told me
very intelligent.
That in order
That
for me
sounds
to
like an
obtain
awesome
a polygraph,
job
a
that
copy
he
of
had
the
back
polygraph,
then.
I would need a court order to obtain it.
Well, here's a question asked a little different way. Is Lorne, are you sexually attracted to underage girls?
Good God, no.
Good God, no. So I wish I had the
Good.
polygraph strapped to you right now to
Good
hear
God,
that.
no.
You talked to one for
What's
a
that?
month.
Yes, I did.
So where does that leave us then? If
You definitely seem more intelligent than me. You obviously went to college there, Kelp Hill. That's awesome. You probably make the big bucks, man.
where does that leave us if you're saying you're not sexually attracted to underage girls, but yet you spend a year? Sorry, not a year. You spend a month.
A year?
If you spent a year talking to one, maybe you would have come to your senses.
You mean a month?
A month. I meant a month. I apologize. You spent a month talking to what you thought was 13-year-old, just become a teenager. You're fully aware of that, correct? Like there's no discrepancy
Yeah.
there. You never thought she was 18 or anything else.
No.
Yep.
I knew she was 13.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you
right.
explain
Well,
that
I
then?
mean,
How
I
do
knew
you
I thought
explain
she was
that?
13.
What's that?
I knew I thought she was 13.
Yes, you thought she was. So how do you explain that then? You're not sexually attracted to underage girls, but yet you talk to one for a month
Yeah.
with the intention of having sex with her
Right.
at some
How do you-
point. At
how do
least
you-
that's what the chat reflects.
How do you explain that, Lauren?
Because she was listening to what I was saying. She was paying attention to me. She was letting me get out.
She was letting you get out your pedophilic tendencies. That's what she was doing, right, Lauren? That's what you should have said. That would have been the correct answer. But your answer, if that was on Jeopardy, Alex Trebek would have, he would have punched your fucking mouth loose for that answer.
My problems, my feelings, and my thoughts, everything that was going on in my head. And the only where it led to sex is because the only way I thought that I could keep her there and listening to me, letting me let out my problems was to keep talking about sex.
Okay.
Oh
Do
my
you know
God.
what you were doing was wrong?
At first, I
did-
did, and then I just completely lost all thought of it, and couldn't think. All I thought was, I'm starting to care about this girl,
Right.
and I've completely lost all thought of her age.
Yeah,
You were still-
that's all she said, Rhoda, was, "Okay, cool, I guess. Are you anxious to touch my penis? Okay, I guess." Like that, there was no, I don't think the decoy ever said anything sexual back to Lorne. It was just basically her agreeing with everything that he said and everything that he said he was going to do. And I think even leading up to the front door, he was like doing a countdown of when his Mr. Penis was going to meet Mr. Vagina. And when he showed up and sat down and, "I want a kiss first," he's begging for a kiss. And she's like, "I want to talk first." And you could tell that Lauren was like, he was getting agitated. Like I think he was expecting like her to like run up and give him a big hug and start making out with him. Right. I don't know. It didn't work out that way though, Lauren. Hiya, sir.
still worried about it. I mean, you talk about being worried about where you're going to park, whether yeah.
I was worried about it because it would once I started in again, I would think about it again.
Right.
But then once I started talking to her again, I'd lose all track of it. But then it was still in the back of my mind, and it would keep coming up. And
the only time she said no, or the only time that Lorne said no, was no brown panties, right? And didn't he wanted like her to mail him her underwear, her panties? No, that was Dustin McFedridge, that sick fat fuck. Yeah, that guy. Ugh. Wear them for 2 or 3. Pick a pair you want me to have and wear them for 2 or 3 days.
I don't know. I was completely lost at what I was doing. Even though I knew what I was doing was wrong, I couldn't stop myself from not doing the wrong thing.
Right. Okay. I mean, so every night you end these chats.
And then Lorne could have been like that one douchebag, Onision, who Chris Hansen is after. He could have just kept chatting with her until she was 18, right? And I bet you the decoys would have given up at that point. But he probably still would have been charged for transmitting the nude photographs and video to Kayla. But, you know, he could have waited till she was 16 and met up in good old Pennsylvania where the age of consent is 16. Where I'm at in Illinois, the age of consent in Illinois is 17, actually. So, and then Wisconsin, right up north from me, I know is 18. And a lot of states are 18. But I don't know. Either way, it would be grooming to do such a thing. And that's why Onision's got all this heat. That guy's a fucking. I watched a little documentary on that nut job the other day at work because I didn't really understand who he was or what he was about. Maybe not quite as bad as Lorne. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is Lorne wanted to screw a 13-year-old, and he spent every waking hour thinking about Kayla, staring at her pictures, and yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me read some of the chat here. I'm sorry, guys. I've been talking. 5-year plan. Yeah, Shin. There was, Lorne wanted to basically date her until she was 18 and then get her pregnant. Exactly. He stared at her picture for an hour, but yet, Yeah, Amanda, right? He was totally telling her to sneak around. Oh, delete your archives. And remember, Mrs. Kayla Marie Armstrong. I don't remember what he said after that, but I think it was, oh yeah, I love you more than anything. Oh, man. Oh, Honest Abe is his great-grandpa, Shin. The inability to lie. It's a genetic lull. Good one, Rhoda. Amanda Jane Nashville was an hour away so he could tell her parents. Yeah, right? Tell her you're going to a slumber party. No one call him on it. Yeah, I know. The Tiffany calls are the shit.
At some point, late at night. What do you think about when you stop chatting for the night? Like you went to bed, you're not on chat anymore, you're going to sleep. What was going through your head?
Going to the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
That his life was, I think, all day, every day, during the whole ordeal, she was on. The only two things on Lorne's mind was drinking alcohol and talking to Kayla. That's about all he was interested in, and maybe driving the lull. I don't know, but obviously he didn't get enough experience driving the lull, because what did he work there when they were building the church? He had just gotten that job, right? And then he became incarcerated.
Seriously. That was my only thought, was going to the karaoke bar.
The karaoke bar.
Is that what you did a lot of the nights when you?
And that's another thing too. He's never been in a band. Like, what is he thinking? He was gonna go to Nashville and just go to a recording studio and say, "Oh, I can sing. Oh, but we're signing you right now. Record deal." It's not how it works, man. I've been in so many different bands as a musician. I've been on so many different stages. All, it's not that easy. The music business, I don't suggest anybody getting into the music business as a profession. If you want to learn an instrument, that's cool. But to be a big time artist, it's like winning the lottery. You could be the best musician on the planet, but if you don't have the right connections or the right channels to put that music out or your talent out, and if it's not presented in the correct way, and you don't have management, you don't have a publicist, there's all these things that you have to have when you're in a band or you're an artist. You have to have all these people to back you up and basically promote you, and it costs a lot of money. You have to pay these people. It ain't free. So that's why I made my own recording studio, because we used to back in the day, going in the studio, it cost a fucking shitload of money. And so I set up my own studio, and everything's always mic'd up, and I can record anything I want whenever I want. So that was a huge goal of mine. And but still, even with everything that I've done, I've opened up for Godsmack, I've opened up for Deftones. I'm talking direct support, not like some side stage. I played a show, it was my band and the Deftones, and I've gone on tour. I've done a lot of things that successful bands or a lot of bands dream they could have done. And still, I'm not famous. I don't, I've actually paid more money than I've ever made as a musician, sad to say, but I just love it, and it's what I love to do. But I don't sit there and make false claims to people that I'm going to be a millionaire rock star or anything like that. I hate people that do that. They count their chickens before they hatch, and they think they're going to become this big hit thing. And well, it's not the 90s anymore. How many musicians out there that are brand new, like within the last couple years, that have $1 million record deals? Not many. Very few people.
And you got off chat?
That's what I did every night.
Okay.
And I tried to stop chatting sooner so I could go to the karaoke bar.
Okay. It seems like
And also, just another thing about the hardest part about being a musician that's in a band, longevity. That's the number one reason why a really good band doesn't make it, is because someone in the band quits, and then once that happens, you try to replace that person, and when you do, the person just doesn't have the writing capabilities that the person before, the original guy had, and it's a real shitstorm. So if you're a musician that is in a band that can stay, that's really good and is able to stay together and drop everything at the drop drop everything to dedicate all your time to it, you can make it. You can, but once again, you know, I've done it all. You know, I've done everything short of becoming a, like, you know, a Grammy award winner or selling millions of, you know, I've never sold records. I mean, we used to sell our full-length album at our shows and stuff like that, but it, you know, people don't buy that shit much anymore, and especially now with COVID going on, forget about it. No one's playing anywhere.
It seems like you know, you were counting down the days, and you go through that. You know, I'm going to see you in 13 days.
No.
Did you have any apprehensions?
I don't drink beer. I don't drink much anymore.
Person,
I used to
drink,
despite the fact
you seem really excited about
it's not really my
meeting
thing.
this girl.
I had a lot of effort, and I didn't want to go.
You never even meant to do it, is what you're saying.
Huh?
You never even meant to do it?
Yeah, whoa, what people are getting big.
Yeah, that's true, Rhoda. That wasn't the case when I was in a band, though, because we basically, when we played different clubs and bars, we had a deal with the owner of most of these places, and we had basically complete control over the door, which we got 100% of the door, and then it turned into, because we started having we started having a pretty big following, and it got to a point where it was like, no, dude, we're not doing the door shit anymore. You're going to pay us $400 every time we play here, and every fourth time we play here, you're going to pay us $800. Like, and that's the other thing about being a musician, and something my band never had. We never had a manager. And that's another great piece of advice. If you want to be a successful band, you have to have like a fifth member that's a manager, somebody who can be mean for the band. The band should never have to be mean to anybody. But you have to have somebody with you who can put the fucking foot down and be mean, because there were so many shows that I played across the country where at the end of the night, they try to fuck you out of money. They try to pay you with drugs or whatever else. And it's like, no, you're paying us, you know? And that's another thing. You should always do it under contract, which we never did. And there was mistakes made, and alcohol problems with some other people in the band. So we broke up, and it was sad, man. We had a video on MTV. We had all this shit going on, and then it just imploded right when we could have went somewhere, and it's a shame, but shit happens.
Kick out of is I never meant to do it. Well, point blank, I never freaking meant to do it. How hard is that to explain?
Kind of hard if you've, you know, spent a month chatting to somebody and it's highly sexualized, and you're, you know, seem excited about the prospect of meeting them in person. It's a little hard to explain, but...
Okay, it's
open.
not hard to explain. It is not hard to explain.
Yeah, okay, Lorne.
At all.
Okay.
I had gotten used for 4 years.
By the way, I really appreciate you guys sticking with me here. Thank you.
By people I trusted and idolized. After that long of a time, you wind up
it was a wild
does
ride.
Anybody even care about me?
Off the verge. It was a very exciting time in my life, but at the same time, it made me realize that it can all end at the snap of a finger. You know, that's any relation, and that's the other thing I failed to say was when you're in a band with 3 or 4 other people, it's like being in a relationship with 3 or 4 people at the same time, and it's really hard to juggle, and it's just like any relationship could end at any time, snap of a finger. And that's what you got to realize about life, is there's no guarantees, and it can all end at the drop of a hat, you know.
Okay.
That's where
something Lorne needs to learn.
That's why
He still hasn't
once I
learned
started
that
talking
yet.
to her, I felt like somebody cared about me, and I didn't want to lose it.
Okay.
That's
can
the only
appreciate
reason I kept talking to her. And that's the only reason that I even went to the house. I didn't want to go to the house still, even when I went to the house. Even when I was halfway at the
Is
house.
it, Amanda? That's cool. Thank
I
you.
wanted to turn
Thanks for
around.
being here.
At the closest exit that I could find. But the closest exit that I could find happened to be that exit.
Shin, we were like we played metal. It was like a heavy metal band. But not like death metal, right? It was like I would compare it to like Pantera, let me think. Had some sort of southerny style to it as well. But I mean, you can look it up. The band name was No Conviction. The video that is up on YouTube that we did is called Bury the Living. And that was the professional video shoot that we did with Vision 4 Films, and I believe it was Steven, the actor, if you can believe this, Steven Seagal's, I believe his son or somebody who was related to him was the one who edited the video for us. And then we were able, through a publicist, was able to get it on MTV 2, which was Headbangers Ball, which of course is not on the air anymore. But it was it aired on a ride for. It was after Dimebag Darrell from Pantera was murdered on stage, so it was like a Dimebag Darrell special, and our video aired on MTV 2. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it was a wild ride. Definitely wild.
In between, I had thought about
No, not like Twisted
driving on
Sister
the-
at all.
in the middle, the median, but it was deep grass down there, and I didn't know what was down there. So I was like, well, frig, I'm gonna screw up my truck if I drive
Damn
down
right, it's
something I
cool.
can't see what's down there. So I kept going. That's how I just turned around the next exit. Well, lo and behold, next exit was that exit that she told me to get off on.
So I actually had that
Also, a little funny story. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the band Static X. They were kind of big back in the early 2000s. And we opened up for them at the Rave in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And their dressing room was like right next to ours. And something happened. I don't know. They like changed the time slot on us or did something. And the singer of my band took a frickin' fire extinguisher and went in their dressing room when they were not in there and basically sprayed all of everything they had. It got just drenched in fire extinguisher foam. It was, yeah. Needless to say, we got banned from that dressing room. They put us in the basement after that from now on.
question
I said,
lined
well,
up.
I'm here. I'll just go right to the house. Then when I got there, I didn't want to be there. So I went around. I went past the house, went back, I went around the rotary. I stopped because I didn't want to go there.
Yeah, there does seem
Then
to
I
be, in the new footage, there does seem to be some, and I don't want to get into the new footage because I understand that you want to do a commentary with another lorographer, with another individual about the actual thing. So I don't want to go there, but there does seem to be, some indication that you drove past the house a few times and Casey Moreau, the decoy, was waving you in.
She was jumping and waving. They were very desperate to get me there. They wanted another body for their show. They didn't have enough.
Yeah. Well, it's not to say that you didn't spend a month chatting to somebody. And so maybe there's a little bit more light shed on this. This is somebody who wanted to talk to you. I'm not going to summarize everything. I think people have heard enough.
I'm not going to tell people that I wasn't wrong. At things
Also,
that
he
I
couldn't turn
said and
around
did.
when he drove to Kayla's. There was no way he could turn around. You remember that? I sure do. That was another one of his excuses.
I was very wrong in things that I said and did.
Maybe he
What
thought
wasn't
you.
right is because I never wanted to go there to begin with.
Yeah.
That's what I'm mad about. That's what I've been fighting about. I never wanted to go there to begin with, and they knew. And they took a person that was.
And that's what's another thing that's funny. He never wanted to go there, but yet he barely even had enough gas money to get there, right? If I had to go somewhere, or no. If I didn't want to go somewhere and I was like next to broke and didn't have gas money, or I had to budget the gas money, I wouldn't even go, especially for, what he was doing.
Vulnerable, and talked him into going to a place he didn't want to go to, just so they can make more money and more ratings for their show that they so extremely failed on the previous show where the prosecutor committed suicide.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that they specifically.
Oh, I knew he was going to bring up the suicide. But yeah, Amanda James. Basically, NBC was at fault as it was like a 60-40 deal. NBC was 60% of the problem, and Lorne was only 40 in his eyes.
They targeted you because they thought that you were vulnerable, or I don't think necessarily that your chat. I mean, the reason we're having this discussion today, if it was very obvious that you were vulnerable from the chat, we wouldn't be having this discussion today. You wouldn't be having to defend your actions. And I don't think they necessarily knew that. They didn't target you specifically because you were vulnerable. You just happened to be.
I happened to start talking to her.
Right.
I happened to start talking to her to try to be a nice guy.
Of course,
They
Shin.
targeted everything that they could possibly target. And they were
And
making
Amanda, yeah, he spent the
$100,000
last
per
of his
show.
money on gas, and he was even
They would've
debating on
targeted
whether
the
or not
President of the
he
United
was
States
going to
if
be
they
able to
could've.
bring Kayla back to his apartment and then return her home, because that was supposed to be the plan, right? He was supposed to pick her up. But I don't recall if whether or not he changed it to where he was just going to spend the night. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know exactly. I think the biggest question that I have about this whole ordeal is, let's just say Kayla was real. Let's entertain that for a second. So let's say Lorne showed up and, broke the law and did what he said he was, and it all went down, right? Him and Kayla were in love. Or not in love, but my biggest question would be, if, say when Lorne showed up and he got everything he wanted that night from her, right, sexually, do you think he would have, pulled the I gotta work in the morning thing and left that night after he did the deed? Or would he have stuck around and followed her around like a puppy dog? And also, would he have kept the relationship going? I think he would have kept the relationship going after that fact. But I don't know. It's hard to know with Lorne's brain, It's definitely a modern marvel of science, that brain of his.
They probably would have loved that, actually.
All they saw was money.
But
$100,000 is a lot to a person.
I know.
And this is another thing that super fucking pisses me off, is the fact that Lorne talks about how they made money. And it's like, Lorne, if I was the one that had to chat with you, I would certainly want $100,000 fucking dollars. You bet your ass. 'Cause that's a lot of work and a lot of disgust to have to read the chat and respond and all that shit. Did you really think they were going to do it for free? And if they did it for free, you would have bitched about, well, they did it for free. They weren't even making money off of it.
But on the flip side of that, you've got people like me conducting this interview with you, and the people who are listening to it, probably the vast majority of them, maybe some of them not, depending on who it is. Probably somebody would have started talking to them and said, I'm 13 years old, and they would have said, okay, it was nice talking to you, but, I'm in an adult chat room looking for another adult.
Yeah, that didn't cross Lorne's mind. He didn't care that she was 13. So yeah, so Kelp Pill said the original plan was to bring her back to his apartment, which once again is kind of a joke because he didn't even have a bed, right? So where were they gonna sleep? On the floor? I mean, I don't know. That's a mystery to me.
Good
right,
luck.
and that's what I should have done.
Right.
But what I did was I felt sorry because nobody else would talk to to a 13-year-old. I felt sorry for her, and I didn't. I guess you just have.
And all I can say is thank God that it wasn't a real girl, because if he would have gotten her pregnant, oh my God. I mean, he can't even take care of a dog. How's he gonna take care of a child? He can't even take care of himself, let alone a child. People like him should be freaking sterilized. He shouldn't be able to contaminate the rest of the world.
That's the normal reason I feel sorry for people.
No, I hear
And
you. I don't want to harp on anything, and I appreciate you talking about this. I know this probably wasn't easy, but I appreciate you taking the time to sort of walk us through it. I hope that people who listen take it for what it is, and that they appreciate, that you were honest. And that's kind of
hard for me.
Right. They would have been sleeping in a pile of Bud's hair, and probably a pile of Lorne's piss, or dried piss from his drunken nights at the karaoke bar. That's just my take on it.
Because for the people that don't know me in real life and haven't been around me my whole life, don't know me to be like that. All they see is what NBC showed them, and they still have that. After all these years, they still have that picture painted in their mind of just what NBC showed them.
Right.
Even though I've let out what actually happened with the DVD that I have of what's even edited, because NBC edited it before they even gave it to the prosecutor. They still have that image of what NBC showed on television.
Yeah.
Once again,
And that's for next
For the
time.
person that,
once again, it's NBC's fault. Once again, because they made money. I guarantee that's why Lorne started the YouTube channel that he has too, because he knew that. I think he feels like he is a star from the show itself. That would be my take on it. But I'm not 100%. I think that's how he feels, though. Like, he's entitled to that television profit.
yeah.
That's for the next.
But for the person that I'm actually am, they don't know all that, and that's what really bothers me.
I think tonight you've given us a lot of insight into, your perspective on the whole thing, where your head was. Maybe there's a lot of questions still unanswered. I know that you're in an RSO class right now. As the RSO classes, do you feel like they've helped? I mean, before I even get into that,
I think it would have been so much better if Kayla would have asked him to come in naked like the other guys, because I truly think Lorne would have done that. I really do. I truly think if they had like the garage thing going on, he could have went in the garage and disrobed, and then when Chris Hansen walked out, he could have said, "I'm sorry, your daughter IM'd me."
Are you a threat to reoffend?
Not even close.
Okay. Because I think that's what a lot of people worry about is, there's been a lot of people featured on the show, and I honestly believe some of them.
It bothers me that anybody would ever even think about that.
Well, why wouldn't they? I mean, if you did it one time, what's to say you got caught?
And I understand everything of why they wouldn't be bothered by it. But it bothers me because I know the type of person that I am, and I know what was going on there, and I know what I didn't want to do. And I also know what had happened to me all them years that led up to me going there.
Yeah. I mean, there's people who would say...
Before I went there, I sold my house for $8,000 after having over $60,000 into it.
You said that earlier. I know.
Come on. Yeah. Oh, my God. There we go. It's not anyone else's fault, Lorne, that you sold your fucking piece of shit house for $8,000 and you put $60,000 into it. That's nobody's business but yours. So, I'm assuming that justifies the whole Betty situation.
I know that there were some extenuating circumstances and everything else, but, it's just tough to say for everyday people who weren't in those situations to say that you had a month of dialogue with somebody you thought was 13 and then showed up to meet them with the intention of sex, and there's no getting around that in your chat log. I mean, it is just, it's riddled with penis talk and sex talk and everything else.
It's cut and dry. And it is riddled with penis talk.
I mean, it's all there. So, regardless of where you were at that time, I think, what people need to think about is, where are you now? I mean, if you were to get off the RSO, if you were to do something else, I mean, would you be the type of person to be like, oh, good, this is my opportunity to go back and do it again? And, it's like saying, that's a tough question, because nobody who's going to do something again is going to say, oh, I won't do it again. I never meant to do it in the first place.
I never even meant to do it.
Let me ask you, do you think I'm the type of person that would go back and do it again?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten to know you, and obviously, people know that we've talked previously and stuff, and
if Lorne knew he could get away with it, absolutely he would reoffend. Mark my words on that one.
One of the reasons I wanted to have this conversation with you, and we didn't rehearse this, I didn't tell you what I was going to ask you beforehand. I wanted to have this conversation with you because I want these answers, because I want to know, is the person that I'm talking to capable of doing these things? So
I'm asking you, do you think that I'm the type of person that's capable of doing something like that?
I don't think you have the propensity to reoffend. Me personally, Ethan Griswold, no, I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you, from what you do.
Now I'm gonna ask. Oh my God.
Know from before.
You fucking interviewing me now? Don't laugh.
I'm just asking so I can see what type of person you think I am.
Okay.
Or what type of person you think I was before.
Okay.
So from what you know before, about me before, do you think I was the type of person to do it before with the exclusion of the chat log?
With the exclusion of the chat log? Like, if that had never happened, would you have just gone out and, fuck some kid?
Right.
No. I don't think you would have done that.
Thank you.
Whoa, Amanda James. The first sentence there had me a little worried until I saw large dogs.
Okay.
Keep
That's a
that
good
thought in your
fucking
head,
question.
because I never was and I never will be.
You should be the interviewer. That's actually not a bad question. You're right.
No,
You know, if you took
I'm putting it to you. I'm giving it to you like it is, like I am. It's not me.
It's not
I'm
me.
not that type of person. I never was that type of person.
Shut the
I had
fuck
some major
up about
issues at the
Dan.
time.
right.
God
And
damn it.
all I was looking for was
God.
somebody
God.
to listen to me,
God.
somebody to talk to me, somebody that showed that they cared about me.
But then, you know, and here's the real question too: is Chris Hansen's not there, camera crew's not there. It's just you and that girl.
Kayla.
What would have happened?
I never would have been able to do anything.
Yeah.
You asked her for a kiss.
Get out of here.
I meant on the cheek, but I never said anything
Oh,
after
my
that
God.
because I knew what it would turn out to be.
Lorne just said if Kayla was real, nothing would have happened. And he meant when he asked for a kiss on the cheek. I want it, and he didn't say. When he said I want a kiss, I took it as plural, like he wanted, a makeout session, and we all know that's what he wanted. For him to sit there and say, "Oh, I couldn't have done nothing. Nothing would have happened." Blah 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 blah. Oh my God, he's so full of dog shit.
So
Well, then you're keeping yourself out
Yeah,
of
he
trouble.
begged
Then
for
you're
a
keeping
kiss
yourself
3
out of
times,
trouble
right,
because
Amanda?
you knew it was going to turn out to be.
I mean,
but
has any guy ever done
you
that to
spent
you?
a month talking about sex with this person, and you show up there.
I know. I'm not
want
gonna
a kiss
play off like I
first.
don't know what it
Can I have a
didn't sound
kiss?
like.
Can I have a kiss, please?
I know what was in my head, and you want me to be honest, and I'm being honest, but I'm not. I'm not gonna play off like I don't know what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I know what it sounded like, but I'm also gonna say what was in my head. I meant a kiss on the cheek.
Oh,
but
shut the fuck
I know
up.
what NBC was gonna play it off as.
Right.
I'm not stupid. NBC was going to play it off to be as much as what they could possibly play it off as.
Right, because NBC totally lied. It was a total lie. Once again, it was a conspiracy all against Lorne. It was MK Ultra mind control for him to, his keyboard on his computer, it typed by itself like a player piano. And he doesn't remember how he got to the house, even though he was the only one in the vehicle that drove there. Let's see. He had a variety pack of condoms and a bracelet. There's no intent there. Yeah, he's right. I think I believe Lorne. I really believe him. I think nothing was gonna happen. Kayla was gonna get naked in front of him, and Lorne was gonna say, "Oh, caught! I can't do this. It's a stupid move." No. He would have been on that young girl like no tomorrow.
So all I could do is just shut my mouth and go with what NBC was going to fucking bill.
Yeah.
Because all NBC was after was ratings and money. They didn't give a shit about anybody's lives.
But that doesn't have anything to do with your intentions, though. That doesn't have anything.
Right. NBC, they didn't care about trying to expose pedophiles. That's not why they did what they did. Right? I mean, the show that it was To Catch a Predator was actually it was like the show Cops, right? I can't even begin to explain in words how ridiculous this conversation is going right now.
Anything to do with you. That has to do with them, and that's what this is your situation.
Right.
They put you in. I get that.
Well, it has to do with my intentions, because my intentions was not a kiss on the lips. My intention was not making out. My intention was literally a kiss on the cheek. But I knew nobody was going to believe that. So
But
I
your
didn't say
intentions.
anything.
Of course nobody's going to believe that, Lorne, because there's 100% proof that that's not what was going to happen. I mean, 100% truth. 100% proof that you were going to have sex. There's no doubt in my mind on that. You can say that all day about the kiss on the cheek, and instead of me giving Lorne a kiss on the cheek, I'd love to give him a fucking slap as hard as I can across his cheek. That's what I'd like to do.
But your intentions leading up to that night in the chat were penises and vaginas and all kinds of stuff.
I know. Well, no.
So what I'm saying to you then is,
I'm not gonna say my intentions.
yeah. I mean, what? I mean,
My talk.
And you asked me before, if you exclude the chat and let's say even the phone calls, if you just like met some 13-year-old in the street, would you try to rape them or something like that?
Hell no.
No. Yeah, I don't think that.
Good God, no.
And
I get so quiet when I meet anybody in person. I have to talk to them over the phone for the first time.
Yeah, you seem. I mean, it's. I don't want to bring my impressions too much into it.
There's a difference between talking over the phone and because you have a barrier between you.
Yeah.
Right. Just like the internet and real life are two different things, Lauren. That's basically what you should have said. Talking on the phone and in real life are two different things, right, Lauren? Just there's one little problem. You showed up with condoms and a bracelet. That's the big hurdle we have to get over. That's what needs to be explained. Well, Amanda, he didn't really talk to the detectives. He asked for an attorney right away, and if you ask for an attorney right away, they have to give you one, and the interrogation interview is then over right then and there once you ask for an attorney. But it didn't matter for the cops. They had all the evidence they needed. And any attorney that would have looked at the evidence would have said, wow, man, I cannot believe this. Like, you're fucked. There's nothing I can do. You're done. There's no getting out of this. I mean, everything was documented. And that's what's so great about that NBC did what they did. They recorded all the phone conversations, all the chat. Everything was recorded and documented. And the same exact thing happened with the codfishers. Like all those phone calls of Lorne, with Winnie and all the freaking codfishers. All those people did a fantastic job of recording all the content from the phone calls, and it's just unreal. Like, every escapade that he's ever been involved in has been recorded, and then he wonders why he's all over YouTube. Like, I really wish he sees my channel someday, or a buddy tells him about it, and he gets to listen to my advice, my insight on what he is all about.
But once you meet a person face to face, that barrier is gone.
Are you saying that the internet and real life are two different?
It's just the
There
thing
we go.
with
The internet
with that
and real
fucking
life.
kiss.
Right.
I honestly meant
They should have had a female
a kiss on the
detective with
cheek.
yoga
Yeah.
pants. He would have
I
been
want you to
knew
pick that up.
what
You and
NBC
Sam
was
are going to
turning
talk
into,
about
so
that?
Yeah.
I didn't try to fight anything.
You and Sam are going to talk about that. I have one more question, and then we're going to wrap up. Okay.
Of course, they read him as
And
rights
it's
off
about
the verge. They had to
you
have.
talk about missing pages from the chat log. We're talking about
And-
the chat log tonight.
In order to speak to the police, like in an interrogation room, you have to sign a waiver form. You have to waive your right to remain silent. And most people don't understand their rights, and they end up getting screwed for like other crimes committed, whether it be like drug crime or whatever. Like, the best thing to do in any situation within reason, if you're being arrested, keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Do not talk to the cops. When they ask you questions, just tell them you want to exercise your right to remain silent. And then your next step would have to hire an attorney. But by going into an interrogation room, they use all of that evidence against you in court, which strengthens their case. So no matter what, the best thing to do is to remain silent. Remember that, folks. Know your rights. And Lorne obviously knew his rights, but there's certain cases where the evidence is so cut and dry, they don't even need to, you ask for an attorney, it actually makes their job easier, because then they don't got to sit there and listen to Lorne's bullshit stories for, however long that the interview would have, lasted.
Do you think that you said there's supposed to be a certain number of pages, there were other pages. Do you think there's actually content?
Yeah, but Amanda James, if you sign a waiver, to against your right to remain silent, you can revoke that consent at any time. Like, for example, if you get pulled over and you're driving and a cop asks to search your car and you tell him, yes, you can search my car, and that cop starts to search your car, you can tell them to stop it at any time, and they have to stop. And it's the same thing with sex. Like, for example, if you are with a partner, a female or male can, they can refuse consent at any time. You could be in the middle of doing an act with somebody, and if they tell you to stop and you don't stop, that's considered rape. So, the law sort of works the same way. And if cops go against that, then, well, they're breaking the law and you're dealing with a corrupt cop.
Content missing, or just the pages were edited to be different sizes?
I think both.
Do you remember saying things that you think were not included in the chat log?
And I remember saying things. I remember things being in there
Lorne
that
said,
I did
no,
not say.
I'm not coming over. We're not having sex.
There's supposed to be 407 pages.
Which
and
it is.
There's 249.
No, it's 407 pages.
Yep.
Depends on how it's edited or spaced or whatever. But, you're saying you're...
Not but.
Printed out, there's 249. There's some of those pages that are not full pages. Some of them are half pages, and some of them only have a couple of lines on them. There's supposed to be 407 pages.
Wow.
If it was just a few pages difference, I could understand that.
Mm-hmm.
When you go
Sure.
149 pages that are not there, there's major issues there.
But the point is, you talk about
getting married.
You talk about
getting
not
married.
remembering.
She's 13.
Certain things that happened 10 years ago. But is there something in your mind that tells you do remember certain things that weren't included in the chat log? Because that's kind of hard to believe.
The legendary font size defense. I love that.
If
off
I
the
read through
verge.
the chat
That's
log
great.
again, then yeah. Because I don't have everything right in my mind at the time. But if I was read through it again, then yeah.
So what do you think they excluded?
I know well, I can't tell you exactly because I'm not reading through the chat log right now.
Okay, so that's okay. Basically, I was saying if you sat there and said, no, I don't want to come. I don't want to come to the house. And that was included in these pages that aren't there, I would have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, I don't believe it for a sec.
suddenly you're recalling something that you said that, you couldn't recall why you did other things.
Well,
That's
see, I
all.
did tell him I was straight that I didn't want to go several different times.
Right.
And that's not in the chat log.
It's in the chat log.
No.
No, there's nothing in the chat log that says you don't want to go.
There isn't.
In fact, it says the opposite.
There's nothing in there that says that if I was to go there, that I'd wind up spending years in jail.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
There is, because, in mine there is.
Right.
In mine
The
that I
one you
get from the
typed up
prosecutor,
after
there
you
is.
got out of prison or whatever.
And what the public has seen is a completely different thing.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe that's
okay,
a whole
sure.
new bombshell for us. Maybe that's another, piece. Maybe that's something else that you need to release, that you
No,
need
that's
to
a
send
lie.
to Ember and get out there.
You've never seen anything like that?
I don't believe so.
No.
We'll have to check with Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Yeah.
He knows everything.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to check with.
That's your buddy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, I appreciate your feedback tonight, and I appreciate you, hanging in there with these questions. Really, my goal is to get to the bottom of some of this, and to get you
The
your
bottom.
honest, opinions and feedback and responses to some of these questions. So I appreciate you doing your best with that, Lorne, and I'm hoping that this conversation is meaningful both to you and to the people who listen to it. So I want to thank you for engaging this conversation with me tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
I have,
Okay.
you can edit this out. I have a question for you.
I'm
Oh,
not
boy.
editing anything. Go on, ask me a question.
You're not in coherence with Nathaniel, are you?
Fuck
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
What
he
do I have
is.
to do?
All right.
But I love
Yeah,
it
you
that he
told me you talked
lies.
to him a couple weeks ago. and I'm
That's all
like,
Lorne
wait
ever
a
does is
minute.
lie. He just said in this phone conversation
No.
that he doesn't lie.
Lorne, I'm in coherence with you. I will edit this part out.
he
I'm hoping you do.
he
because
will
I don't
edit
want
this part out.
No, I
being
talked to
on
him.
the
I
internet
wouldn't
like that.
look. Hey, if I was cohorts with him, or I wanted to do something bad to you, or I wanted to make you look bad, do you think I'd tell you I was talking to him? Like,
Right.
God Almighty, he.
Well, that's true, but you told me you talked to him. There's just dawned on me, what the fuck is Nathaniel
What the
meant
fuck
saying to
is-
him?
Here, wait. Let me let's record like a wrap up on this, and then I'm going to turn the recording off, and then we can start talking again. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, Lorne, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I know you sort of, bared your soul with a lot of this. You talked about a lot of things that were very uncomfortable.
Buried the
so
old
I wanted
hatchet.
to thank you. Also, is there anything that you want to say, before we wrap this recording up and post it on YouTube?
Just that I apologize to everybody for the mistakes that I made in my life.
You don't owe anyone
I never
an
wanted
apology.
I do owe people an apology because this is not how I want my life to turn out.
I don't know,
I know
but
it
he's
is.
pretty buzzed up, I'm sure.
This was not the dream that I had when I was a kid. The dream that I had as a kid was what I went down to Nashville for. I didn't go down to Nashville to get on the internet and meet up with some fucking 13-year-old. I didn't.
Right, you didn't. You felt it was more important to have the internet and a computer than a bed at the time, so that wasn't your intention. I call major bullshit on that, Lorne. Maybe instead of having the computer, you should have had a bed, and maybe chatted with some women in real life instead of on the internet.
Didn't want to be on NBC. I didn't even know who Chris Hansen was. He was offended by me not knowing him. And quite honestly, I would love to meet Chris Hansen in a boxing ring.
Oh boy. Now
And
he
I
wants to
actually
threaten
for
Chris
Xavier
Hansen.
Bonner to be there at the same time, and for Nathaniel to be there at the same time. That way I can whip all three of their asses at the same time and get it over with.
Yeah, okay, Lauren.
Oh, that's not going to help your legal status, but I
Bye.
would like to see it.
Not gonna help my legal status, but it'll help my frustration.
All right.
Right. It'll help
Well,
the fact that you're a pedophile, and you want to take that rage out on good people who exposed your fucking dumbass, and you hate them for it. But you know what? You should hate the only person you should hate, Lauren, is your own damn self.
Thank you, Lauren.
But
Sorry, go ahead.
But
I was just gonna say, but as for everybody else in the world, I completely apologize for being caught up in the whole thing.
I'm sure you do.
that's not good enough, Lauren. You just
well, thank you
bullshitted
for
your
being
way
here
through
tonight.
the whole fucking goddamn
And
interview.
with your permission, I will post our conversation, and hopefully it will,
I love how this
bring
has
some more
96,000 views. That's pretty good.
exposure.
We just gave it one more.
information to your already intriguing case.
Thank you too, Ethan.
All right. Have a good night, man.
You too.
Wow. So there you have it, folks. That was the Lorne Armstrong interview about his case, what happened. I don't know. I think he was completely genuine. I mean, I think he was innocent. I think NBC plotted to set up Lorne. I think it was all a conspiracy. Once again, they used the technology to turn his keyboard into a player piano. And just some random reason he accidentally made it to the Sting house somehow. I don't know. It was an accident. That's basically how it went down. You know, he never meant to do it. He was just totally coerced. Girl powers took over. A 13-year-old girl powers took over a 37-year-old man. If you can believe that. But we all know Lorne is a virgin. That we know. Unless he had a hooker at one time. But we can all definitely say he's never been in a relationship. That we know. Yeah, I know. That's one thing about Lorne. He loves that phone. He can talk on the phone for days. I used to think like maybe he was like a cokehead or something. Like he was drinking beer and doing coke to want to sit and yap on the phone. Like, I mean, how long has this stream been going for? Like an hour? And I'm already getting kind of tired. I haven't even eaten dinner yet, so. But I just want to say thank you for everybody who has joined the chat tonight. If anybody wants to donate to my PayPal, there's a link in the description. Anything helps. If not, no worries. Please stay tuned. I will have some more live stream content in the future coming up. But I think I'm going to have to go ahead and call it quits for the evening because I never meant to do this anyways. It's a stupid move. But thank you everyone for being in the chat and watching and listening into my live stream here. It's always fun. You guys are great people, very funny. I couldn't ask for a better group of people in my live stream. So, with that being said, folks, you can go on over to Clobber's video. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be streaming for quite a long time. I will probably be watching soon too. Once I get off of here and eat something, if he's still streaming, I'm gonna watch it. And I always love watching other people's shit. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Amanda James. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Off the Verge, Shins Koala. I also want to thank Rhoda and everybody else who was in here, T. Davis, and even the people who left. So I will call it an evening here, folks, and please stay safe out there. I know we're going through some difficult times. Stay safe and keep